following program is intended for mature audiences.
Welcome.
Gotta get into it.
Pull it up.
Thank you. Here we go. This is what it is.
Jaywalk.
Jaywalking. This is not a bit. I'm not clever enough to make this up. So, let's fucking get into it. I gotta pull the chair up here, 'cause I gotta make sure that I'm loud enough in the microphone. I just went over to the corner store for a moment. On my way back, I watched two people get pulled over in a short distance between going to the spot and on my way to come back here. Then another set of cops comes around. Might have been the same guys, not sure, because they do seem to bang out the transactions pretty quickly. But anyway, one guy is going opposite direction, turns around, goes 100 miles an hour in the other direction. Not exaggerated, this cop does. Speeds all the way down at least 2 miles. Grabs the person he was looking to go after. Then I see another one who is going to meet up with this other cop, because now what they do is when you get stopped, you don't get stopped by one cop. At least two. Depending on the time of day, could be 4. It all depends on where you live, how much is going on. So the second cop is on his way to go meet this other guy, and he's stopped at the light, right? He's sitting in traffic and he's waiting, and I'm walking back to the house, and I'm looking at this cop, and I'm thinking to myself, I swear to God, as I'm thinking this, I think to myself, you know, I'm glad I got out of where I used to live, because here it's different. I guess these cops have a lot more going on that they don't have time to break my balls, right? So they're busy doing other shit. Just as I get done thinking that thought, the cop pulls out of traffic and sits on the shoulder of the road. I turn into the driveway. I go to walk up. I got the music playing in my earphones. I got the music playing in my fucking headphones. And I hear a car pull up next to me. So I turn and I look, and I jumped because I was like, holy shit, he's right there. It literally, I didn't even need to extend my hand. I could have reached inside of his car. Don't do that. They'll shoot you. I'm just saying, I could have. And he goes, I said, what? I pulled my headphone out. He said, are you alright? I said, yeah. Why? Just like that. Because I know what this is about. In my head, this is what I'm thinking. Right? And he goes, well, I mean, it's not an official stop. Not really trying to bust your chops. But, you know, I saw what you did back there.
Oh shit, this bitch got a dick.
That might as well have been what you said. I saw what you did back there. What did I do? I crossed the street. Apparently, that brings us back to the beginning. I jaywalked because he says there's a light down the street here. Now, I know it's a little bit out of your way, but technically, it's illegal to jaywalk. So you can't cross the street like that. Even though it's out of your way, you have to go up to the light and cross where you're supposed to cross. I'm not going to give you a ticket for this time, but this is what you have to do. Now, I know, and you know, and he knows that this has nothing to do with jaywalking. He can't, maybe he can. I don't know. If you happen to listen to this and you are a police officer, enlighten me, please, because I want to know. Or if you're a lawyer, fill me in on this bit. Because the reason why he stopped me is because of my walk. It's not a secret. Everybody knows I walk with a limp. I've walked with a limp my entire life. From the moment that I could walk, I've been dragging this fucking appendage around with me. It's just what it is. It's not horror movie bad. But I could get a role in a zombie film. You know what I mean? Like, it's noticeable. You can see it. So, that's really why he's stopping me. Now, this is what I mean by fill me in on this bit. Because I don't know if he could say, I see the way you're walking. Are you under the influence? I mean, I've had this happen to me 1,000 times. This is not new. I'm not a stranger to this. But instead, what's your name? I give him my first name. And before he can even ask me, I give him my last name. He's typing away in the fucking computer there. And while he's doing that, I grab my wallet out of my pocket, which is underneath his car window. So, I only reach in my hoodie slightly and pull it out. And immediately I pull my hands back up so he can see I'm not up to anything crazy, because I've had guns pulled out on me. That's a separate story, unrelated to a traffic stop or anything of the like, but it has happened and it's fucking scary. But so I go, I have my ID if you want it. Got my fucking cigarette still smoking, and I only noticed that I still had it because some of the smoke was starting to go in his car. So I moved my hand back a little bit. I give him my fucking ID in my other hand. And he's like, alright, well, you live around here. Now you're making conversation, because this is the part of the transaction where you're trying to decipher for yourself if you think I'm under the influence of something or not. That's what this is. But he's not coming out and saying it. Now, this is what I mean. I don't know if he can legally come out and say, I suspect you of being on some shit. I've had it happen many times, where the cops have been like, you're not handicapped, you're making it up, you're high right now, you're drunk right now, you're on something, I don't know what it is, but you're on something. So, I mean, I don't know. But he was like, basically, walk the way you're supposed to. He's like, just go where you're going, have a good day, whatever. And then he pulls in the parking lot and he waits for me to walk up here as if I was lying. Like, where am I really going? Really, I know he was probably sticking around to try to figure out which building I was going to go in. But I waited outside and finished my cigarette. Eventually, he drove off anyway. But it's not hard to find. He has my ID. He knows what fucking apartment I live in. It's all right there. I guess the weed charge doesn't really come up. I'm not sure, because he didn't mention it. But then again, that's not what it was about. So who knows? But let's see. What is this even about? Because I don't know. The world of jaywalking is not historically neutral. It is a compound word diverted from the word jay. No shit. You don't say. An inexperienced person and a curse word that originated in the early 1900s and walk. No historical evidence supports an alternative folk etymology by which the word is traced to the letter J. So we're saying that it was a person. I've heard that it was a curse word. It's a good thing I got the clean episode, which I was currently in the process of editing before I left to the store. So now this is going to be a mini podcast. Why is it called jaywalking? paths that a jaywalker might travel in crossing a road. Rather, it comes from the fact that jay used to be a generic term for someone who is an idiot, dull, rube, unsophisticated, poor, or simpleton. I'm every one of those things. I live in a low-income apartment complex. I have been known on occasion to be a bit daft. If you're from the States, a bit of a fucking moron, a jerk off, a knob. You know, I got a stutter walk. It's not a fucking, it is what it is. I just, I feel bad for having that thought that, like, well, I guess they got bigger things to do around here. Because clearly, why not? If you can break a person's balls, why not go for it? Connect 4. Right? Like, and it does make me feel bad. I'm not shopping for sympathy. But nothing quite like the reminder that, you're noticeably fucked off. When somebody can stop you because of the way that you walk and try to keep a conversation up with you because they want to hear your speech pattern and see if they can figure out if you're high or not. Or ask anybody that watched any video on this fucking channel and they'll say I'm high all the fucking time. No, I'm not. Weed November, hopefully. Hopefully, please. But I mean, it makes you feel like shit. Like, oh, great. Now I get to think about this for the rest of the day now. Why does it have to be like this? Why do I have to walk like this? Why is this my fucking life? Who did I kill? What did I do? Did I choose this? Do I deserve it? Of course you do. You're a piece of shit. The whole 9 fucking yards, dude. I get to think about all of it. Can you go to jail for jaywalking? Depending on the jurisdiction, jaywalking is either an infraction or a misdemeanor. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Police enforce jaywalking laws by issuing citations. The penalty for jaywalking laws typically include a fine similar to a parking ticket. In many jurisdictions, fines increase with repeat jaywalking offenses. Well, I mean, how much do you get charged? Pedestrians can be fined if they cross the road against a flashing light signal or if they cross the road within 20 meters of a marked crossing. If you get caught and choose to not pay the $76 fine, fucking Christ almighty, $76 fine for not walking in a fucking white line. Chad Daniels had a really good bit about being pulled over because he didn't use a turn signal. And when the cop stops him, he goes, "Oh, what's the matter? You need another blinky light for your party, princess?" Hilarious, dude. Hilarious. I love that guy. Stand up is the shit. So, obviously, I'm going to have to use the crosswalk from now on because I don't want to bump into this guy again. And it's a small place in the sense that I live directly on their main source of revenue. They're pulling people over all day, every day. Not to mention that there's a fucking rat bastard in here that calls the cops every chance she gets because she's a miserable fucking human being. And she doesn't want anybody living on either side of her in her fucking apartment. Go buy a house, asshole. Alright, we all gotta fucking live. Nobody, this is not all about you. You fucking dick. I hate that motherfucker. I really do. Can't stand her. Bigger piece of shit than I am. You know why? Because I don't make people's lives more difficult when I can help it. If I got a problem with you, I'll knock on your fucking door. If I want you to turn the music down, I'll ask you. I'm not gonna call the fucking cops on you. I'm not an asshole. When the old neighbors used to party and they would be drinking and shit, I would literally text them and be like, "Yo, y'all are getting crazy loud. The cops are going to be here soon." Not because it was bothering me, but because I know the noise level, once it gets past a certain point, that bitch is calling the cops. And for everybody's safety in this building, including my own, I'd rather them not come here because there's always an off chance that somebody could get shot. That's the fucking reality of the world that we live in. Now, I've said this before. I've been in 100 different situations where the guns have or could have come out. I had a guy pulled us over. Jen was driving. The guy pulled us over. Flashlight, gun. Walked up to the car with the gun already out of the holster, pointed into the car. I swear to God. And then he gets a good look at both of our faces and goes, "Oh, it's you people." Puts his gun back in the holster, walks back to his car, and drives the fuck away. No explanation, nothing. We ask around and we find out later that apparently there were a couple of jerk-offs in town that stole a car that was the exact make and model of the one that we were in. So that's what it was. And because I was known in the place where we used to live, not for anything good, but you know, the cops knew who we were. What can you do? But this is fucking ridiculous. I mean, I might as well just tell this one other story just to stretch it out for the amount of time that it needs to be a mini podcast. I was walking after midnight. God damn it, Patsy Cline in my fucking head. I was working in an office building, cleaning. There's a janitor. They refer to it as some circles, and in some circles. Cleaning out the building, throwing out the garbage, vacuuming, mopping, toilets, windows, mirrors, the whole fucking deal. The whole deal. I worked in a few different buildings. In this particular one, I was transferred over to Manahawkin for a company the same company cleaned 4 buildings in, was it 4? Hold on, there's the Dyfus Section 8 State Cop building. The other one was in the same city, but it was a dentist office, physical therapist, all that shit. And then also down in Manahawkin, where I was transferred at for a little while to cover, were some other people. Dentist office, radiology for cancer, the whole thing. And you have to sign paperwork when you work for a cleaning company like this. If you're not aware, if it has one of those buildings in it, you literally have to sign a waiver saying that if you get infected with hepatitis C or anything like that, that the cleaning company is not responsible. Because you're literally clean all those bins that they have the medical waste in, you gotta clean all that shit out. Or at least we did. I don't know if that's standard procedure, but that's what we did. And what can you do? But the long short of it is basically this. I'm in the building and I'm collecting the garbage bags. Now we had one of those fucking deals that you can, we had the fucking thing with the wheels on it that you could push the garbage can around in, and we would have one that you fill up, pull the bag, tie it off, and then the other one that you can pile in the bags that are already full on top of that one, so that you don't have to be carrying a single garbage bag down 3 flights of stairs, do an elevator, whatever the fuck it is. So I got my deal full and I go to bring the garbage out. Now this is after hours. We're talking, depending on which office it was, depended on the hours that you worked. It was typically 4 to 6 hour shift. And you can start anywhere from 4 p.m. and work till 1 in the morning, depending on how long it took you to get the fucking job done. it's a lot. But anyway, I have a security code. I have literally the alarm that you have to punch the code in for. The boss gives me the code in the beginning of the shift because when he leaves, he's going to arm the building. When he leaves, he's going to arm the building. And, motherfucker. When he leaves, he's going to arm the building. And you have to put the code to get back in. So, what had happened was, I go outside, I throw my garbage out, and I go to punch the code in, and apparently it didn't work. Because you gotta punch it to get out, and then punch it to get in, right? Silent alarm. So, unbeknownst to me, the alarm is going off once I go outside the building. I throw my garbage out, I come back in, I go to press the fucking code in, and it's not working. It won't let me in. I call my boss, I don't know what the fuck to do now. I'm stuck outside, it's 10:30 at night. I'm the only person in this building. Everyone else is gone. I'm the only one. 3 floors, it's just me by myself. Right? So, I leave a message on this dude's voicemail, and before he could get back to me, I hang up the phone. It was like a fucking movie, bro. I turn around because I hear, freeze! I'm like, what the fuck? Like, in my mind, I'm like, this is some asshole playing a trick on me. I turn around, dude, and there's 2 guys with suits with their guns pointed at me. Like, their fingers are on the triggers, ready to pull. And they're pointing at me. I'm like, yo, I work here. I don't have a shirt with the company on it or nothing like that. And like, well, we gotta confirm that. You know, we go through the whole deal. Turns out, my boss calls me back. I fill him in on what's going on. He's gotta contact the cops. It turns into a whole fucking thing, but was almost killed because this fucking idiot forgot that they changed the code to the building. They change the codes every so often to make sure people aren't going to break in, other workers, whatever, somebody gets fired, whatever the fucking situation is. Almost got killed for that. I mean, I got 100 stories with cops. It's ridiculous. I mean, dude, this has got to be the dumbest one. I was drunk in the passenger seat of a car, right? We're driving around. I'm the only one under the influence. Jen is not. We get pulled over. Cops break up my balls. They don't like me. Some people that I used to hang with were known for mischievous activities, let's just say. Apparently, I didn't know. I don't get involved in shit that doesn't concern me. Whatever somebody else does, that's their business, you know? But they pull us over, and this fucking guy is like, get out of the car right now. I'm like, for what? Like, this is the point where it's gotten to, where now, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I'm aggravated. How many times a day do we gotta go through this? How many times a day are you gonna fucking stop me and tell me that you think I'm drunk, or you think I'm high, or I'm selling drugs, or buying whatever? Like, how many times a day are we gonna fucking do this? You already know the fucking deal. The worst thing, you know, I'm not even gonna get into it. The point is, he's like, oh, get out of the car. I'm like, for fucking what, dude? For what? What's the problem? What is really the problem here? What is actually going on? You know, I could arrest you for a DWI right now. That's what the motherfucker says to me. I could arrest you for a DWI. How? I'm in the passenger seat, idiot. How are you gonna give me a DWI for being a passenger in a fucking car? Well, I don't know if the smell is coming off you or off her. That's not funny. That's not funny. Nobody's fucking laughing. Don't get cute. You know? I fucking hate bullshit cops. They got nothing better to do with their time than be bullshit cops. Having said that, I've heard from other police officers who I bumped into in many different junctures in life. There was a guy when I was a kid that got brought down from Brownsville, New York, and he was stationed to sit out in a movie theater parking lot because, you know, a bunch of people our age would be hanging out at the movies, the coffee shop, whatever, out in the parking lot. So they're out there to make sure that, you know, they got to break it up every once in a while. So this dude, because he's a real time guy, is, you know, having a conversation with me and my brother. And we're talking about the area. What is it like down here? What is it like where he's at? And he's saying, this is coming from him. He goes, you know, I hate the cops out here. He's like, you know, I understand you guys are going to be kids. You're going to do what you got to do. And we got to keep you under control. But at the same time, he's like, a lot of these guys get off on the fact that they're fucking around with kids. Like, they've never done any real police work. They wouldn't know how to conduct themselves in my city. Some of these guys would have a fucking heart attack if they dealt with actual crime. And that was coming from a cop, you know, who has seen some shit. And they're not all of them down here are not like that. I mean, this dude just now could have been a real cunt if he wanted to. I'm sure he could have wrote me a ticket. He could have found a reason to detain me if he really wanted me to prove that I wasn't under the influence of anything. And I didn't even tell him, by the way, that it's a handicap, CP, MS, the whole thing. I didn't go into it because I didn't want the rebuttal of, oh, really? Like, I don't know if it pops up when they run my fucking name, but hopefully it does. I'm actually going to talk to my doctor now so I can get a written note so that when this does happen, because if you get stopped by one, you're going to get stopped by more. That's just what it is. The guy stopped me because he thought I was under the influence. It had nothing to do with jaywalking. It's like when they pull you over and they say that your license plate light is out. 99.9% of the time, it's not. They just want a reason to fucking stop you so they can see what's going on in the car, talk to you, see if you're under the influence or whatever. And then you wonder why, some people wonder why others don't necessarily trust the police. Again, it's not all of them, but the bad ones really do, you know, fuck it up for everybody else. It's just there's a divide. And oh, you're white, what do you know? But fuck you. Fuck you, okay? Because I'm not black. Credit to you for realizing that. But I am handicapped. So I understand what it's like to be minding my own business, not breaking the law, being harassed when you're just trying to go about your fucking life. I understand what that feels like. So while you can come at me with your white privilege arguments or whatever, I get it. And maybe it's not the same thing, but I've been harassed enough to know. They used to sit outside of our apartment 24 hours a day. We've had them walk into our fucking place. No warrant, no nothing. Walk in, oh, we thought we heard a scream. We're sitting on the couch watching television. The fuck you did? Get the fuck out of here. It's just what it is, dude. But look, jaywalking. I guess I'll be going a few extra feet from now on. It's fucking ridiculous. I mean, the guy did say, I don't know if he means this or not, but he did say people around here drive like maniacs. He's like, I've actually had people hit my car. And if you're on foot, you don't stand a chance. I respect that. If that's coming from a genuine place, I can respect that. But we both know the reason why you stopped me is because you thought I was high on some shit. I'm not saying don't do your job. But people who are fucked up don't walk around like me. They walk around far worse than me, or they don't walk at all. Those are the two fucking options. How many times these cops see me walk up and down the street? I walk everywhere. I go to the pharmacy plug. I go to the fucking corner store. I go to the pizza shop. I go all over the place. To the fucking Wawa. I walk a lot of places. The walk doesn't change. It's very consistent. So I'd have to spend 24 hours a day keeping myself under the influence. And then be ballsy enough to venture out into the street high out of my fucking mind and hope I don't get stopped by the cops. Fat fucking chance. Anybody that knows me will tell you I'm not that guy. I'm not brave. Cops scare me, dude, because I know what they're capable of. I've seen shit happen. And I'm not going to sit here and debate with you. Some of you are just true blue all the way to the end. No matter what happens, a cop can never do anything wrong. Others have seen it for themselves, but the unfortunate fact is that unless you've been a party to it, where it's happened to you or a loved one that you know, most people don't buy in because they think these people are all fucking saints. Well, they're not. And I understand this was all jaywalking. I didn't get beat up. I didn't get arrested this time. But I've had my fair share of shit in the past. And for a brief moment in time, I was ignorant enough to actually think that my fucking physical disability wasn't going to haunt me in this new place. And I just have to sack up and realize that it's always going to be there. Whether it's now, 20 years from now, it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. I'm always going to get stopped. It's just what it is. And it fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. But what can you do? That's life. That's just the way it is. Nothing I could do about it. But with all that said, that's it. Time to wrap this fucking thing up. I'm done. Catch you fucks on Saturday.